Thank you for taking the time to review the Florida edition of the Discovering Math books. We had three primary goals when we built these programs for Florida teachers and students. The first goal was to make sure that we're covering both the practices and the performance expectations of the Mathematics Florida standards, which includes needing the essential balance between concepts and procedures. Knowing that with the new standards, it's not one or the other, it really is the combination of both. With the change to those Florida standards and that emphasis on math practices, we also knew we needed to create a program that was approachable. For many students, for many teachers, it's a different program and different type of learning than you've had in the past. And so we really built a program to make it as accessible as possible, not just for students, but also for teachers, so that you could easily implement the program successfully. We also made a fundamental decision to go ahead and include both the regular and the honors standards in each book so that schools could adopt one book and use them in both places. That said, one of the new projects we're doing here at Kendall Hunt is the ability to customize books. So now you have the ability, if you wish, to adopt the program, and then you can have a book that has the honor standards as well as a book that only has the regular standards. So the books really become exactly what you need. We also made a strategic decision that we submitted the books as electronic books only. So when you review the materials, the full curriculum is really only available digitally. We've integrated both GeoGebra for our geometry program as well as a new product called ClassPad.net for the algebra programs, which is going to allow students to do full lessons, do full investigations within a dynamic environment, and then export that work either through ClassPad.net or as PDFs so that they can then share their work with their students and fellow students as well as their teachers. Now that said, we get that the majority of schools still want and need print versions of the materials. So what we've done is, although we've submitted the digital program, we also will supply print student books free with purchase of the program. So you purchase the digital program and you just give us a call and we will send you print books for free. I'm now going to turn this over to Marty Frank, our mathematics curriculum specialist, who's going to run you through the program so you know what to look for and where to see all those features in our program.
Let us now take a walkthrough of the Discovering Math program and some of the resources that support it. To log on to the website, go to www.flourishkh.com. Use the login information on the screen to log in and then choose your desired program. We're going to take a walkthrough of the geometry program. But please know that the algebra and advanced algebra are set up the same way. There's a consistency between the three programs. Let's start in the teacher's ebook. Then we'll come back and take a closer look at some of these other resources. The buttons along the left side of the screen are your navigational tools. The first one is the table of contents. Let's open it and go to lesson 4.4. What you see here is exactly what the students see in their ebook. To access the teacher notes and answers, click on the icon with the teacher at the board. This gives you the wraparound notes from the TE. This is also your lesson plan. Notice the Florida standards, your objectives, the vocabulary, and the materials list. Each lesson in all three programs is structured using a LISA instructional model. LISA stands for Launch, Investigate, Summarize, and Apply. The first step is Launch. This is your opener. It connects previously learned concepts with what students are going to learn in this lesson. The second part of the lesson is Investigate. This is where the learning takes place. The Discovering series uses both investigations and examples to teach the math. The great balance between conceptual and procedural. The third step in the LISA instructional model is Summarize. This is where you check to see if the students learned the concepts they were taught in the investigation. As we scroll through, please notice the critical questions and the formative assessments. It's very convenient right here at your fingertips. The fourth and final step of the LISA instructional model is Apply. This step includes extra examples, closing questions, suggested assignments, answers to the problems, and exercise notes. Let's go back and take a closer look at the investigation. Discovering Math is an inquiry-based program. Students learn the math by working cooperatively to complete the investigations. In the e-book in the investigations, you'll see that students can open the steps one at a time or all at once. It's flexible to meet the needs of your students. Included in the investigations are dynamic explorations. These are interactive technology investigations. As you can see, Algebra is embedded in Discovering Geometry, and ClassPad is embedded in Discovering Algebra and Discovering Advanced Algebra. I also want to point out a couple of other things that will be very helpful as you explore the Discovering Math program. First of all, in this upper right-hand corner, this box gives you access to notes on modifying the lesson and differentiated instruction. Great support in this little box. Also, in the table of contents, there's a resource tab. This allows you to access resources for every lesson in the book, resources such as your launch, a one-step, your extra example, and your closing questions. These other navigational tools along the left-hand side allow you to search the book, add bookmarks, view and add notes to the book, access a glossary, and access condensed lessons, which we'll talk about in just a few minutes. After each lesson, you will see exercises. These are for practice. There's plenty to choose from. When you get a chance, please take a close look and notice the quality of these exercises. Both application problems and skill problems are available for every single lesson. All right, let's get out of the ebook and go back and take a look at some of the resources. As you can see, there are many resources to choose from. Not so many that it's overwhelming, but enough of a variety to make sure you have what you need to meet the needs in your classroom. Let's take a few that I find particularly useful. First of all, condensed lessons. These are more direct instruction lessons for every lesson in the book. They're great for absent students, tutors, and parents. To practice your skills, these are worksheets that provide more skill practice for those who desire more than what's provided in the text. So using your algebra skills. These are algebra lessons on topics that were taught in Algebra 1, but students might need a little bit of a refresher. Guide for parents. This is a document that can be sent home to parents explaining what the students are going to learn in the chapter. It also includes review exercises as well as worked out solutions. Let's take a look at the investigation worksheet. These are lab sheets. They include all of the steps in the investigation as well as room to show their work. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about the assessments that are available in all three programs. We provide traditional quizzes and tests, as well as constructive assessment options with rubrics. All of these are available in both Word and PDF formats. We also have a cohesive assessment system, or CAS. This is a test generator that allows you to create your own assessments. Students can also take tests online in CAS. Now I encourage you to go on to Flourish and explore the Discovering Math program on your own. Again, www.flourishkh.com, and use this login information to access your digital sample. If you have questions or would like samples, please contact Meg Geeky at myiki@kendallhunt.com.